We have one other person here that I want to kind of share the mic a little bit. Linda Ravenel. Come on. She has a very unique perspective. Her mother was an entrepreneur. She took it upon herself to bake, and she didn't cook food. She baked, right?
I'm sorry?
Your mom baked?
Oh, she made.
Yeah, she would make pastries and delicacies and stuff and sell them to the labor camps. So Linda Ravenel was, she's younger than me, so she was, yeah. And so she would be, she would go around with her mom to the various labor camps. So here's Linda, a little bit of her story.
Just wanted to thank each of you to coming here to Delano and hearing the history. I came unprepared and I apologize. I usually speak from the way I speak is through my notes, so please be patient with me. As Alex was saying, my mom came, and my sister came in 1946, just right after the war, and she really didn't have a skill at the time, but she had the courage to go out and peddle her goods as far as like Filipino bakery goods and vegetables and fruits that were in season. And when I came around, I'm pretty sure she was happy because my two older brothers weren't happy to help her. So as a young girl, you know, she encouraged me to help her. So I was a product of a migrant student. When the grapes were here, I went to school half the year in Delano, and then when the asparagus was in season, I was there half the year of their education system. So my life really is not too much about the strike, but the camp life, what I've seen, because, you know, from 3 o'clock after till probably 10 o'clock, my mom would be, well, most of the times we'd be sitting in their kitchen area because it's all connected to the rec room, and some of their boarding room was next to it. So I got to, some of the manongs that we've seen in the Agbiani village, I remember them. So I had to take pictures. So, you know, it's been a long time since I've seen, you know, their faces. And so the camps here in Delano, it was pretty easy because maybe there was, I want to say 10, but they're all gone now. But it was an easy drive, even though it took so long, because as you can see, Delano's a small area. All you have is great surrounding it. But in Stockton, of course, you know, the camps were scattered, probably 20, 30 minutes, seems like to me, distance-wise, to get to camp. And so, in fact, in one of the camps in Stockton, when I was around 11, I remember now, I met my future father-in-law, you know, and because we were talking about Fremont School, which is not too far from here, and he goes, oh, my kids go there, and so he was naming his 4 kids. I go, oh, I know one of them. I mean, I know all of them, but one of them's in my classroom. My class year, and he's the one I ended up marrying. And so, what I wanted to also share was the life of what I remember of the Manongs, that it always seemed to come, they would come after work. So they were tired, but they were strong. They seemed to be strong even when they're older to want to work. And so Sundays were the times that I would see them either, well, you know, do you remember Chinatown where that empty field? My mom would even go during the evenings when she couldn't sell her goods, and I would have to stay in those in her van because I was too young to go in. You had to be 21. So there was a lot of life going on in those few blocks. And so, but on Sundays, Filipinos, well, in my family as well, are fond of music, instrumental music, playing, and maybe it's because back in the Philippines there was really in the provinces there was no electricity, so the guitar and song and dance, which you'll see soon, was very common. And so I saw that they enjoyed that on Sundays at one of the camps. And so their favorite song, it seems to be, is Dahil Sa'yo, which means because of you. It's a really beautiful love song. And my mom had taught me that even when I didn't even understand what it meant to sing the song. So, let's see. I did want to tell you that initially I remember in the 60s, it must have been near Stockton, I think it wasn't Lodi, Tracy, near Tracy, and there's another town called, starts with an M, Manteca. There's camps out there, and I remember that their payday was not a payroll check. Their payday was, I would see dollars and I'd see the plates with coins in it. And I really enjoyed that because they would always give me money. And so, but it was just interesting that that was how they were paid back then. And so, like I was telling you, that most of the situation where the kitchen was, they had the rec room and then they had the rooms. And I remember peeking to see what the rooms looked like as a small girl, and it's like a dorm. Unlike what we saw down beyond the village, it's like bed. And I don't know where they put their clothes, maybe under their bed. And some of them, I remember they had, they call it tuba, the gallo wine. And it must have been hard, to, like, this, especially I remember that in Stockton because how can you say, how you use the knife and so I saw that the gallo wine, and I smelled a lot of mentholatum, because before to me that was wow, but now as I'm older I can understand. And so what I wanted to also share with you was the camps that I read here were Sinanovich. The one by Ridge Grove was, I don't remember their name, by Ridge Grove. It was, Radovich, the Radoviches, and Karatan. And I think that's just about that I can remember. I just remember who the supervisors would be, stuff like that. But I did want to share, in conclusion, about 2 stories as I witnessed as a little girl. I probably was in 1st grade, and I became, you become familiar with the manongs, and what I was appreciative of. This one man, his name was Quinones, and I don't know if that was his first or last, but he was a very funny man and very kind. But, I didn't want to, my mom was still selling her Rico and goods, and I didn't want to stay in the gambling room, so I just stayed in my van, played with my doll. And I remember shots, and I go, I looked out to see what was happening, because, you don't know better. And so I looked, and I saw my friend was on the tire of our van, and, he was still alive, but he was in so much pain. And then I saw the person that had killed him. So that was one of my experiences, of seeing that. And the other one was, it must have been the day of the strike in September of 1965. We were arriving here in Delano off of the street Cecil. There's a camp to the east of Delano, and when we arrived, it seemed like it was Larry Young coming to me and to my mom and saying, "You must get out of here because there's trouble steering." And so my mom, turned around and we drove off, and that's my recollection of what had happened possibly that day. I was too young then, probably, I don't even know. I'm 59 now. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for being patient to listen about the camp life.